Okay, so in this video, we're using set notation, as you can see. I really have to write things down on this one, okay? It's all very new, so you need to write things down and make some notes. Okay, so the first thing we talk about is the sample space. Now, this is a list of all the possible outcomes, and it's given by the symbol S. It's got that little omega sign or a little E. So it's all the outcomes. So, for example, if we were talking about all the numbers from 1 to 10, that would be the sample space, and there you go. You've got all the numbers there. Now, please remember, if you're going to represent this, you need to either use S. The omega sign probably is the best one. Equals, and then you're going to put it in the curly brackets. Okay, you need to practice to do those nicely. Put the numbers with commas in between them and the curly bracket at the end. That is the format that I need to see, so make sure you do it. Okay, subset. Now, subset tells you straight away it's the sub of something. Okay, so if you've got a set, it's going to be some numbers out of that set. So, for instance, if we had the numbers 1 to 10, it represents a group of elements that are contained within the group A. So say we've got group A, we've got all the numbers 1 to 10, okay? And then we say, okay, out of those numbers, we're going to pick the prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, and 7. That's going to be our subgroup A. So we're taking those out as a separate group to the side, okay? And that subset is represented by this little sign here. Okay, so practice that so that you can use it yourself. All right, in this example, A is the set of prime numbers less than or equal to 10, which is a subset of all the integers less than 10. So we looked at all the integers less than 10. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're saying, what is the subset? So the subset is 2, 3, 5, and 7. It's a group that's been taken out of those numbers. Now, the A with the little apostrophe there is a complement of A and contains the elements not contained in A. So it's almost like saying the complete opposite. So what's left over? If we don't use A, what's left over? Okay, and in this case, it's 1, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. And be sure that you use everything that is left over. Write that down. Okay, pause me if you want to write more notes before you go into the next one. So an element of 5 it's almost like a weird E, means that 5 is an element of A. So if we looked at group A, you will find that within group A, there is a number 5. So it's an element of. Okay, null or empty means exactly what it says, that there's 0. So the 0 with a slash through is a null or an empty set and it contains no elements. So if they ask you for how many 15s have you got, and you've got numbers from 1 to 10, therefore you've got 0. Okay, so it's null or empty and that shows that. There you go. Also in brackets, and you can put a 0. You can leave it blank, but it's nice to put a 0 in it and the curly bracket on the other side. All right, now the cardinal number, that is basically asking you the number of. So let me show you the setup of it. It goes with a little n in the front of it, and then it says A, and A represents the group A. So they want to know, in that group of A, how many numbers are there? How many elements are there? So we can see in this group is 1, 2, 3, 4. So therefore, our cardinal number will be 4. Okay, a Venn diagram can be used to illustrate how different subsets in the sample space are grouped. So this is a question that we're now going to look at, just to do some examples so I can show you all the different examples. So there we've got our subgroup 2, 3, 5, 7. We know that our big group was 1 to 10, but now we're looking at our subgroup, which is A, and those are the prime numbers. B are any numbers now B is a completely different group. These are the odd numbers. So it's not necessarily the complete opposite of. So these ones we start off with a group of numbers from 1 to 10, okay, all the numbers. A is the group that are prime. B is the group that are odd. Okay, so they're going to be different. I would suggest that when you start a question, especially in the beginning, write out your two different sets. It helps a lot. So A with a little, I always think it looks like something that you would walk underneath. It means the intersection, and that's the word I want you to know, of A and B. Now, when you have an intersection, It includes the elements that are common in both the sets. So what numbers are common in both the sets? So we can see 3 is, and we can see 5, and we can see 7. So therefore, we would go A intersection B is equal to curly bracket 3, 5, and 7. So intersection, I think of it in my head because I have to try and make stories with these. It's like, you know, when people get married and they stand underneath that arbor, and so it's what they've all got in common makes them love each other. So this is the intersection. What they've all got in common is the numbers that go in there. That's my idea anyway. Now, one thing that's very important, if you ask for probability, you know you have to do a fraction, okay? So then you would say 3, because you've got 3 numbers, and your denominator has to contain all the numbers. So if you looked here, you would only have, between them, you would only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. You don't put it out of 6, you would put it out of 10 because the whole group was out of 10. So if you ask for probability with this one, because sometimes you will, and we'll do one in coming up, it would be 3 out of 10, and then you always try and bring it down as much as you can. Okay, so if we have that same question, and we've got our same sets, A and B, this one is pretty easier to remember because this is in the shape of a U, and it means the union. And it includes the elements in either A, and includes the elements in either A, B, or both. So what they're saying is if they want the union of A and B, let's smush all of these together. So we're making a union. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, there we go. And then remember, if you are asked the probability of this again, you would count how many numbers you got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then your denominator would be all the numbers you had in the big set. So that would be 10, and then you would bring that down to 4 over 5. Okay, so now here we're going to do some examples. A number is chosen from a set of positive integers between 1 and 8. So our big set, 1 and 8. Inclusive. A is the set of odd numbers between 1 and 8. And B is the set of prime numbers between 1 and 8. So it says list the set. So the first one, the sample space, is all of the numbers, 1 to 8. Okay. Then it says we're going to do our set A. So A is 1, 3, 5, and 7 because those were odd numbers. Our set B were the prime numbers. So we've got 2, 3, 5, and 7. Okay, so now we've listed our sample space.